Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to Pub Football. It's the start of silly season, so you're going to be hearing a lot from us over the next few weeks as we head through the Christmas schedule. Lucky you. I'm Miles. This guy in the other frame of the video is Jimmy. Let's look back over the weekend's Premier League action. Loads happened, so I've got a few questions that I think we should go through. Firstly, and you are probably the most qualified as an Arsenal fan to answer this. Another loss, 1-0 at home to Burnley. Unforgivable red card. Should have been a second red card, by the way, for El Neni. I don't even think there's a debate about that. How Graham Scott, the worst referee in the Premier League, by the way, didn't see that. And VAR didn't see it is just not good enough. Graham Scott was, Xhaka grabbing the guy's throat was right in front of Graham Scott as well. Why aren't questions being asked of him? VAR have bailed him out here. Is it the end of the road for Arteta? It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. It was horrifically poor to watch last night from start to finish. I know obviously Xhaka's petulance just is another way of him not being endeared to the Arsenal fans because he always does it. But yeah, it's a mix of both, I think. I feel like Arteta's not learning. He's not willing to change the system, the style of play, even though it's not working. Lacazette is not a number 10. Stop trying to play him there. Stop playing Willian. He's out of form. He needs a break. Just put a youngster in there for a couple of games.
You drop him, strip him of the captaincy.
It's getting to the point I'll think about it because the only way he's going to score is an own goal. So yeah, we're getting to the point where we are struggling. But yeah, there's a lot of fundamental issues at the moment, and I know we created a few chances last night, but it was still very, very dire against a poor Burnley side.
People that have been mentioned, muted as potential replacements. Allegri would be you'd think of a good manager, but unfortunately he'd be stuck with the same players at least through till January. Vieira and Henry. Now, Vieira and Henry might seem like popular choices for Arsenal fans, but, and this is the big but, both of them have bad managerial records. Vieira did okay. Was it New York Red Bulls he was at? No, it wasn't. It was New York Red Bulls he was in charge of. He was in charge of an MLS side anyway.
He was in charge of Nice for a while.
He's just been sacked, hasn't he, by Nice? And he's not good enough. And as for Thierry Henry, was absolutely useless at Monaco. And to be fair, I don't follow the MLS, so I don't know how he's doing out there. But it's the MLS, so you judge him on the Monaco stint. Allegri maybe, but I wouldn't be very happy about either of the other two, even though they're club legends.
No, agreed. I think we should have gone for Allegri the first time round. He was available, I think, probably about 12 months ago now, and we should have gone in for him. He's a class manager who can get the side organised. I know most of the players are absolutely awful at the moment, but January's 2 weeks away. We can start to ship people out. But yeah, he would have been my bet. I would even look at Hassan Hurtel at Southampton. I know they're doing incredibly well.
I wouldn't leave Southampton for us.
I wouldn't leave Southampton either at the moment, but I think we are a big club. We're not going to go down. I'm not having any of this at the moment. And I think there's massive scope there to do something for someone like Hassan Hurtel.
Ozil back in the 25 in January, or do you move on from that?
100%. He would make a massive difference. Pretty much the last 5, 6, 7 games, you've seen the lack of creativity in the side. He is massively needed. Get him back in there. He'll make a difference.
So the weekend was the first time in 4 years, I think, since the last time that supposedly every member of the Big Six, which is not the case anymore, I don't think, didn't win over a Premier League weekend, or Premier League match day, they call it, because there's midweek games. For me, I think the title race is wide open. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Like, you see Tottenham getting a draw against Crystal Palace. I don't think it was a massive shock based on how Tottenham have been playing. Man City drawing with Man United, again, it's a derby, you can never tell. But the indicator for me that it's a wide open title race is because Liverpool is everyone's favourites. They're still everyone's favourites. I still think they'll probably win the league. However, against Fulham, in the first half, you could have flipped their league position. Fulham were that good, and they absolutely battered them. And then in the second half, I was saying Liverpool will get back into this. They'll find a way because it's Liverpool. They got a lucky penalty, and it was lucky. Even it was a penalty. I'm not saying it wasn't. You don't put your arms up like that, but it's still lucky to get a penalty like that, hitting an arm in a wall from a free kick. I never felt like they were going to score the winner. And that, for me, shows a shift in Liverpool from last season. I always felt like they were going to score the winner last season. Didn't this year. And that title race is wide open between Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City are still in it. Then Man United are still in it. They're only a point behind. I don't think they'll get there. You could even add Southampton. Leicester are definitely in it. It is an open title race this season, and it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, agreed. I love it. Looking at the league this morning, I was thinking, crikey, there are probably about 7, 8, 9 teams within 5 points at the moment, which is amazing. I also think COVID has had a massive effect because there are a lot of tired legs out there. A lot of injuries are starting to pile up. It's who manages it the best and who manages to get the results. As you say, Spurs are right in it. I'm a bit annoyed, but thankfully they got pegged back yesterday. But I thought Liverpool were really, really bad that first half. It reminded me a lot of the game against Villa. They didn't turn up. I think they just assumed they were going to win, and it took to pretty much about 60 minutes to start to do anything. And they were lucky to scrape a draw, to be honest. But loving it at the moment. It's great.
I feel like they could have played another 15 minutes and they wouldn't have scored the winner, as opposed to the Tottenham game where you always felt like Palace were going to score in the second half. But then after Palace scored, if that game had been going another 5 minutes, I think Tottenham would have got the winner. I did think that, or if Palace had scored 5 minutes earlier, I think Tottenham would have got a winner. Liverpool just didn't look like it. Was almost like the Arsenal-Leeds game when it just didn't look like a goal was coming. Right, now this is an interesting one that I picked up on this week. Brighton, they didn't win again. They lost meekly again. Have they actually improved under Graham Potter? The football looks better. We've mentioned every week how well they're playing. But the fact of the matter is they're not scoring goals. They're not picking up enough points. And I think that they are right in a relegation battle. And they could very, very much go down. Burnley are looking like Burnley, and they'll probably pick up enough points. Fulham, based on the weekend, looking brilliant and a team that definitely could kick on and stay up. So then you're looking at Brighton and Leeds being dragged back in. But again, Leeds play well enough on enough weeks and just about get across the line. For me, Brighton could be the third side to go down.
Don't forget Arsenal in that conversation, mate. We're still there. But yeah, as you say, I do like the way Brighton play football. But as you say, you've got to get the points on the board. And again, another performance last night. They had a chance at 0-0. I think it was Danny Welbeck missed a bit of a sitter. And then the game just got away from them, conceded stupid goals. Great goal from Maddison. But I think the difference with Brighton is they're just conceding too many goals. I'm not sure if losing, I think it was Shane Duffy in the summer has made a difference, but they're losing a lot of goals at the moment. And if you can't score up the other end, you're really struggling. And they're doing okay at the moment, but they need to start picking up some points.
Now, I wasn't going to speak about the Manchester derby because it was so boring. I wasn't sure it warranted us chatting about, but it was the biggest game of the weekend. And for me, the takeaway, and you can look at it positively as Man United fans that you didn't lose to Man City, but that game doesn't show an improvement in Man United for me. They still offered nothing. It shows actually, and they are still in the title race, like we mentioned, just Man United have to be as well if you're including them, just how far City have fallen over the last 18 months, that they offered nothing all game. And that's not the Man City way over the last 5 years.
Yeah, agreed. At the end, they were happy to take a point. And even in the sort of post-match conference, Guardiola literally said, I was happy with a point. And I don't get that because United are a really poor side and they were there for the taking if they actually kind of went up a couple of gears. But the game itself was absolutely diabolical. It was the worst game of football this week by a country mile. And as you say, both teams are getting worse. And I'd be massively concerned as a City fan because you did think 5 points off the top, and they don't particularly look great at the moment. No,
I mean, the saving grace is that Tottenham-Liverpool is next. So there is at least an opportunity to gain ground on one of the teams at the top. Anyway, that was Pub Foot with Miles and Jimmy. That was what we thought of the Premier League weekend, the Premier League match day 13, I want to say 12. I can't remember, one of the two. We're going to be back actually tomorrow morning with our next video, looking ahead to midweek games. It is silly season. It's exciting, isn't it? Cheers. Getting it all together.